Hello and welcome all you softball fans to our final broadcast of high school softball on your sports network. Ty Bartell alongside Anthony Hartwig, my color commentator today. DJ Yoakley, our producer for this Division I state championship game here at Akron Firestone Stadium between a couple nationally ranked teams. The number 15 overall nationally ranked Austintown Fitch Falcons, 22-1 on the season, taking on the number 8 nationally ranked team, the Watkins Memorial Warriors, 31-1 on the year. And we've said it in games prior to this season, but this is another example of it. This is probably as close to a college-level softball game that we're going to get here in this state championship game.
Yeah, 2 D1 Power 5 pitchers in the circle. Got lineups that are deep that you have to work through the whole way through. It's going to be a really good softball game. I'm excited.
You look at the two pitchers, Carson Cassidy, the Michigan State commit, Sydney Watts, obviously the Georgia Tech commit for the Austintown Fitch Falcons. YSN teams 1-1 today. South Range dropping that heartbreaker 5-3 in the Division III state championship. Canfield, though, and Milena Toth shutting it out 4-0 in that Division II state championship game. Looking at this Division I game, though, this has been another matchup that a lot of people have kind of been clamoring for through the last couple of years. And what do you see from both teams, and what is it going to take for either team to be successful today?
Well, I think last night Watkins and Anthony Wayne was a toss-up. They both had really good pitching staffs. 2-0. It was scoreless through 5. And Watkins got a little bit of revenge. You know, they lost to Anthony Wayne last year in the state semis. Beat him in the regular season, but now they get to beat him in the state semis to get to this game. So they're feeling it.
When you talk about who has a bigger advantage after yesterday's contest, do you think the Falcons off the 10-0 win getting some shortened competition was an advantage, or do you think Watkins getting some serious competition and having to fight for that win is an advantage?
It's actually Watkins has a little bit more momentum because they beat a team that beat them last year. There's that little bit of juice that gives you. And it was a very competitive game, as you said.
We go to the field real quick for the presentation of our national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, we live in a great country with freedoms like no other. To honor America in respect for those who have served or are serving our country, to defend our freedoms and promote respect, equality, and world peace for all. We ask you to please stand and remove your hats and join us in the playing and singing of our national anthem.
Let's get ready to play some softball, Ant? As last softball game of the high school regular season.
Oh,
and
that's a sad statement.
I know, and you can listen to it here live on your sports network.
Can we have like a secondary tournament with all the division winners play each other?
Yeah, I know, that would be something great. But don't worry, folks, it's the last softball game of the high school softball regular season. We still got you covered. The YSN All-Star Game. Going to bring all the best of the best from all of our YSN teams into one field to play in, again, the annual Your Sports Network Softball All-Star Game.
The future of softball, too, in the Little League districts and state coming up from the Field of Dreams later
Absolutely. So, though it's the end of the high school softball season, not the end of softball or baseball for us by a long shot. The summer is plentiful for Diamond Sports.
As it should be.
As we look, the Falcons, as ceremonial first pitch.
Best first pitch we've seen all day.
Yeah. The Falcons will be the home team on the scoreboard. Watkins Memorial is the away team. Sydney Watts starts in the circle for Austintown Fitch. She comes into today a 22-1 record this year, 268 strikeouts, a 0.53 ERA. She has an batting average against her of 0.065, throwing 5 no-hitters and 3 perfect games this season.
Say again?
Yeah.
Say again?
So going into the lineup of the Warriors, you got Kylie Troughton, Jordan Wycuff, Malaya Thompson, Courtney Dobbs, Kendall Tellings, Ava McKee, Gracie Gerhart, Grace Whitman, and Carly Taggart, the batting 9 for the Watkins Memorial Warriors. Mentioned this, Ant, 15th-ranked National League team, Fitch, and the 8th-ranked National League team, Watkins Memorial, here to battle. Not the first nationally ranked opponent that the Falcons have faced during this playoff run. Remember that regional final game against the Walsh Jesuit Warriors where they took on Natalie Sousa, Minnesota Gopher future pitcher.
I think Watkins might have a little bit of a deeper lineup than Walsh, though. When I'm comparing the two teams, the offensive side of the ball, I'd give the edge to Watkins a little bit. Pitchers is kind of even. You know, you have 2 Power 5 pitchers. They're both really, really good at what they do. But Sydney's going to have probably the hardest lineup she's had to face all season when you talk about navigating her way through it.
The top 5 batters in the Watkins Memorial order all bat over 400. Leading things off, it's Kylie Troughton, a .438 average. She has a home run and 19 runs batted in on the season. Also 13 for 16 in stolen bases. So if she gets on, she usually looks to try to take an extra base for her efforts.
Sydney Watts has lost 1 game in 2 years. And now we can say the only game she's lost is to the Division II state champion.
64-4 Watts' record overall is in her high school career. Troughton steps in. Great crowds on hands for both as we get ready. First pitch, 7-12, and it's inside, a ball, 1-0. Troughton, just a sophomore, but no doubt a lot of colleges have her on their radar here. Coming up her junior season, showing the bunt, squaring around, pulls it back, called strike, 1-1. It helps that the Falcons had to play the Warriors en route to the state championship game. That Walsh Jesuit team was another very good bunting team that liked to get them down, and Watts was able to navigate through that lineup, trying to minimize damage. The 1-1 to Troughton. Swing and a miss. Went inside, got the cut. 1-2.
Inside with velo. That's tough to get around.
What's the most surprising things for batters their first time facing Sydney Watts in their career?
Probably the velocity. You just don't see 69 miles an hour every day. And a lot of these hitters maybe haven't seen it before yet.
The 1-2, tipped in and out of the glove of Folkwine. She throws to first, no out there. It'll be a foul ball as home plate umpire behind the dish in today's contest.
Just put that in perspective, Ty. In the WCWS right now, 6 teams left. There are 3 pitchers left in college softball in that pool that will throw 70+ miles an hour.
Just a junior, too, is what Watts is. So just to see how much more the sky is the limit for her. It's crazy to think about. Mike Burwell, by the way, our home plate umpire today. Jose Travis at first, Carly Tennant at second, and Aaron Nolan at third. The 1-2 rises up above the ladder. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, the one thing Sydney Watts did struggle with in that semifinal, she had called for 3 illegal pitches during that game. So that'll be something to keep an eye on.
Watts calling her own pitch from the circle. She feeds it to Folkwine. The rock back, the step, the fire, the 2-2 inside, 3-2. Nice plate appearance by Troughton to start things off.
Yeah, getting her on base is really important for this Watkins offense. Puts a lot of pressure on the defense.
Count full. Key first batter of the inning. Watkins looking to get a runner on. Watts looking for the first out. The payoff. Swing and a miss up the ladder. Got the chase. Strikeout number 1 on the day for Watts.
You see how far behind she was with that pitch, though? I mean, it was. I think Folkwine caught it before the swing was finished. It was this. You can't catch up to that rise ball if you're going to swing it.
Jordan Wycuff. Man, oh man, is this young lady impressive. She's the Ohio University commit, batting .641, 11 home runs, 49 runs batted in. Also 15 doubles and 5 triples on the season. First pitch swinging, she'll line it up the middle, pass Folk by Kayleana Ray in center field to the wall. She hits second, looking for 3. Ray's throw there beats her in time, and the Falcon defense does it again. Kayleana Ray to Ayla Ray, the perfect feed to Roby, and they get her out at third.
I love that because Kayleana Ray made a mistake initially, a bad route to the ball. It shouldn't have gotten to the fence, but she didn't panic. She got the ball back in really nicely, and then Ayla Ray's arm on the relay, just incredible.
The Falcons defense, .995 fielding percentage this season, only 3 errors all year. They've picked it up an extra level during tournament time, and that's another beautiful case of the defense shining through.
I know you want to be aggressive there, but you should know as a coach scouting Austintown Fitch, their outfield is really good throwing the ball back in.
Malia Thompson takes a first pitch ball, clipping off of Folkwine's glove. And you talked about it, Andy. You stop at second, you're probably at third right now anyway.
Yeah, I mean, you don't push your luck. I mean, Sydney Watts is hard enough to score on as it is.
Count 1-0. Malia Thompson, .348 hitter, but she has 12 homers and 39 runs batted in.
She's going to Houston.
The average dipping a little bit lower than what she's accustomed to, but she still has plenty of pop. Cuts and misses at that 1-0 offering. The count 1-1 now on Thompson. Mentioned too, a Houston commit. That's a big-time softball program, Power 5 college.
Going to be coached by Coach V, a good friend.
1-1 the count. Watts with the call to Folkwine. Rock and roll into the plate. Swing and a miss. 1-2. How big is that defensive out worked by the Falcons defense with taking a double off the board early?
It's huge. I mean, you can't even explain it. You look at Sid, the way she's pitching in this at bat, it gave her so much energy.
1-2 the count. Falcons trying to send Watkins down in order. The pitch to Thompson. Called strike 3, froze her on the inner third. Pair of strikeouts for Sid to start the first as the Falcons work around a double and send them down in order. Bottom of the first, Falcon bats coming up when we get back.
Some families you're born with, then there's the family that you choose. Over the years, we've been blessed to have our family grow. No, we're not all related at Myers Family Insurance, but when you surround yourself with good people, it sure seems that way. Our goal is for you to feel that way whenever you meet someone from our team. At Myers Family Insurance, it's not just about helping you with your Medicare and retirement needs, it's about making you feel welcome to the family.
For all your Medicare needs, call Myers Family Insurance.
What does it mean to be approved? I'm Tracy, and to me it means getting you to work on time, driving your kids to school, or going out and seeing the world. That's why I go the extra mile for my customers, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
As Comco celebrated 70 years in 2022, we have much to be thankful for. We are proud of the Comco culture as we serve our customers with Comco Care with our premier customer service, quality parts, and on-time delivery. The partnerships we have with our customers and our community are second to none. We thank you for your continued support.
Hi, this is Zell Bush.
Hi, this is Tom Clint. Hi, this is Steve Versetto.
Hi, this is Ryan Miller.
Hi, this is Rich Sakui from WRS Wealth Advisors.
With our combined 80 years of experience,
WRS Wealth Advisors are the area's premier wealth and retirement specialists. Call 330-965-0370 to learn more about our individual and corporate financial planning services.
Or visit WRSwealth.com.
Go Raiders.
Go Dogs.
Go Cats. Go Dogs. Go Tigers.
Bottom of the first inning as we'll take our first look at the Falcon lineup. But prior to that, let's take a look at Carson Cassidy in the circle for Watkins Memorial. Perfect 28-0 record this year, 317 strikeouts of 48 walks over 149 innings pitched. She has a 0.28 ERA with a .112 batting average against. Kayleana Ray leads things off for the Falcons, followed by Ayla Ray. Abby Toe third, Kylie Folkwine cleanup, Sydney Watts fifth, Morgan Roby 6th, Sammy Severn 7th, Lily Stevens 8th, And Rachel Spalding, 9. First pitch strike delivered to Kayleana Ray.
Ty, yesterday you asked me how I would attack Kayleana Ray if I was coaching against her. And I was saying you would need a really good pitcher that could pinpoint her spots. Cassidy's one of those girls. I want to see her up and in like that. That's a good pitch.
That's a fly ball to left, out number 1, retiring Ray on 2 pitches.
He beat me to it. I was going to say up and in. She goes up and in and gets a fly out. But
we don't expect a lot of runs to be scored with 2 arms that have a sub-1 ERA, but we've seen crazier things happen in this softball playoffs. And
with Ayla, who just saw that up-end pitch, mess with her a little bit, go low and out.
1-0 the count to the ace of bases.
That's exactly where you want to throw. That's a setup pitch. After you just saw a pitch high and in, go low and out. The next one.
A 1-0. Ray puts a charge in it out to right center field. See you later. Ayla Ray crushes one to put the Falcons on top early.
Not inside enough, Ty. That caught too much of the plate, and Ayla Ray will make you pay.
I told her yesterday, I said, hey, hit one for me in the state semi. She came so close hitting the fence. I told her after our post-game interview, I was like, you owe me one for tomorrow. She said, I got you, I promise. And she crushes one. The second home run in the state championship game for Ayla Ray, hitting one last year against Anthony Wayne. 15th home run of the season, her 53rd run batted in. Can you say anything else about the ace of bases and what a softball career she's had?
You think YSU's happy?
YSU is thrilled to have her. Falcons play from in front. Big first step for Fitch. Abby Toth, first pitch ball, 1-0.
That is an absolute steal.
Look at the home runs and the people that she's hit them off of, including girls like Milena Toth this year, too. I mean, Ayla Ray is made to hit big-time college-level arms, and for YSU, I guess they're looking at that, and they're definitely, you figure, licking their chops, excited for what Ayla Ray is going to be able to do. Toth cuts and misses, 1-2.
Off speed in the ground. Got Toth way out in front.
Elite pitchers like Cassidy, though, they're not one that they're not going to get rattled from a hit like that. They're going to get right back to work.
Toth
Swing and a miss. Fanning Toth dropping the ball. Throw to first by Wycuff to complete the strikeout, out number 2.
Watts and Cassidy are both pitchers with extra velocity. You're going to give up home runs. It's going to happen.
Kylie Folkwine steps into the box. Folkwine, a couple hits, batting back over 500 this season. 6 homers and 28 runs batted in out of the cleanup spot. That one's hit out towards right center field. That's got some distance. Caught, though. Oh, what a grab by Troughton. Basket catch, saw it into the leather, and saved what would have been at least a double for Watkins Memorial. We're through an inning of play, but it's Ayla Ray, the ace of base, getting the Falcons on the board early with a solo shot to right center. We go to the second here on ysnlive.com.
Let Chili's help bring your vision to life. Now through June 1st, take $100 off a $1,000 or more purchase when you make a donation to Believe in Dreams. Plus, get 12-month special financing. Browse our showroom for inspiration for everything from dining, living, and bedrooms to kitchen, laundry, and just in time for summer, your outdoor space. Plus, save big with these and many other warehouse specials. Hurry in, these offers won't be around long. Chili's, the best things in life happen at home.
Hope looks different for everyone. It's a doctor who takes the time to understand. It's a listening ear when you need one most. The power of care is nothing without hope. And every service we offer is created with true healing in mind. Find your hope at Meridian.
We absolutely love our friends over at 21 WFMJ. And remember, folks, if it isn't 21 with your news coverage, it's a bust. Similar to blackjack, right? We're here in the top of the second inning. It's the middle of the order. Courtney Dobbs, Kendall Tellings, and Ava McKee, 4-5-6 for the Watkins order. Now trailing by a run. We talked about it a little bit in that Canfield Division II championship game. But for Sid and Milena Toth, similar type pitchers, too, with the type of stuff that they have. Getting a lead early certainly helps in what they're trying to accomplish here.
Well, how about the turn of it? I mean, you have a double that goes to the wall. Fitch gets the out at third. And then here comes Ayla Ray with a home run. It's 1-0.
Courtney Dobbs, a Davis and Elkins College commit, 447 average, 9 home runs, 40 runs batted in on the season. She's also smacked 8 doubles on the year, good for 17 extra base hits. First pitch cut on and missed, 0-1.
Step one of playing Sydney Watts and having success is laying off the rise ball. And if you're not going to do that, then you're going to have a long night.
The 0-1 from Watts off the rock and step. Pop it up, pop it out of play, third base side. 0-2.
Actually, I think Sid got away with a little bit of a mistake pitch there. But she was out in front of it enough to foul it away, which means it was a good change of speed. Not a great location, but when you change speeds as well as Watts does, get away with some locations there.
No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2. Threw the bat at it, fouled it off. First base side, and makes its way out of Firestone Stadium, out of play. Count remains 0-2.
I think now if you're Watts, 0-2, you just try to throw a little outside pitch there. You're not messing around this time. Go right to the rise ball. See if she can hold off on it.
No balls, 2 strikes. Watts with the call to Folkwine. The pitch. That's sent out to left field. Nice job getting on top of it, but too far out in front of it. Head out, foul to left.
That's another pitch, Ty, that, not in a great spot. But once again, Watkins hitter's a little bit in front.
Sooner or later, if you're Watkins, you got to burn her on one of those mistake pitches. The 0-2. Grounded to short. Ayla Ray jumps on it. Throw across the diamond and not in time. Pulling Toth off the bag. That'll work as a single for Dobbs.
Might be an error.
I don't know, man. She was hustling down the line. I don't know if that throw even gets there in time the way she beats it. You think?
That'd be interesting to see how they score that because the throw took her off at first.
We'll rule it error, E6. Runner at first. Nobody out. Kendall Tellings up to bat. 456 average. 4 home runs, 35 runs batted in this year. First pitch, ball 1, 1-0.
It's a good spot. It's a real good spot.
Left-handed hitting Tellings. First baseman for this Warriors squad. The 1-0. Missing, 2-0.
See Folkwine hold it there, wanting that call on a pitch close to the letters.
Watts gives the call to Kylie. The 2-0. Missing again, 3 balls and no strikes, and all of a sudden Watkins Memorial in business on offense.
Every year, Sydney Watts has lowered her walk numbers from freshman to sophomore, from sophomore to junior. It has plagued her less and less as she's gotten older and more mature.
3-0 finds the zone as Tellings. Looked like she might have started for first base, got pulled back, 3-1.
And Sid wasn't going to give in. She went to the outside corner. She's not going to throw you a one down the plate just because it's 3-0.
The 3-1 now. That rolls outside. A walk and runners at first and second to start this top of the second. And all of a sudden, go ahead run at first, tying run at second base. Watkins Memorial in business if they can strike for an extra base hit here. Ava McKee is a Bowling Green commit. She's batting .321 on the year, a home run and 18 runs batted in.
She's got 2 MAC commits, hoping to play more softball here at Firestone. The MAC tournament hosted here every year.
First pitch, a bunt. Watts runs out of the circle to grab it. Both runners retreat, 1 away.
That's such a big mistake. You got to get that bunt down. But Sydney Watts, a great defender out of the circle. Very underrated part of her game.
Made a couple of plays against Fairfield yesterday in that state semifinal.
That's even a more impressive play because there's so much pressure with 2 on to make it.
Nayla Ray. Quick conversation. One of the 2 seniors on this Falcons squad talking with her pitcher. Gracie Gerhardt, designated player, 294 hitter, 4 runs batted in this season. She has an RBI opportunity here with 2 on, 1 down. First pitch cutting and missing, 0-1. Watts with the call to Folkwine. The pitch. Swing and a miss again up the ladder and got the chase. Both of those pitches looked like they were right at the top of the zone, too.
They were rise balls, yep. The first pitch was the first level rise ball. You have to have 3 to be a really good rise ball pitcher. One right at the top of the zone. That one she took out of the zone, got at the chase.
What do you go with here?
Right back to it. She swung at 2 of them.
0-2. Tried to tie her up. It's a sky pop foul to the netting.
If a hitter tells you that she can't lay off the rise ball, you don't let off of it.
No balls, 2 strikes here on Gerhardt. Watkins threatening here in the top of the 2nd inning with 2 on and 1 down. Watts searching for the 2nd out of the frame. Gives her call to Folkwine. Into the 0-2. Swing and a miss. One around too far. Strikeout number 3.
There it is. That's here's my best stuff. Good luck hitting it.
You saw she kind of got caught up halfway through the swing, and she was, I didn't want to do that.
She recognized it just a little bit too late that it was a rise ball.
Interesting to see how Watkins adjusts to that, and if they're going to be able to lay off that 2nd time around, too. If they make that adjustment, going to have to get creative trying to find outs.
Some of their hitters have laid off of it pretty well.
Grace Whitman takes a first pitch ball, 1-0. Whitman, 316 hitter, 8 runs batted in this year. 8-hole hitter for the Warriors. Also the starting right fielder for Watkins Memorial. That 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-2. Or 1-1, excuse me. If Whitman is to reach, Carly Taggart, 9-hole hitter with 3 home runs. A little bit of pop at that 9 spot. Waits in the on-deck circle, right-handed bat. The 1-1 to Whitman. Up above the letters, 2-1.
That's what you got to do. You got to lay off that. And then it'll make Sydney Watts bring it down, and then those are pitches you can hit.
Falcons trying to find the 3rd out of the inning. Watkins looking to extend, potentially tie or take the lead here. The 2-1. Above the letters again, 3-1. So, Ant, in this situation, what do you think the strategy is to attack this 8-hole hitter, Whitman?
Well, you know, she's already proved 2 in a row that she's not going to go upstairs. So if I'm Watts, I'm going outside curveball. Outside corner.
The call, the 3-1 to Folkwine. No, it's swinging, and the 2nd walk of the inning worked by Watkins Memorial.
She tried to change high level, go down low that time. And good discipline there to load the bases.
Carly Taggart, a 328 hitter, 16 run batted in, and she has 3 home runs on the season. So a big bop here can really put a charge into Watkins Memorial's dugout on the first base side.
Kind of a second leadoff hitter, Watkins Memorial putting her in the 9 spot. Not as a knock of what she's good at, but hey, we need someone that can really turn over the top of the order.
First pitch swinging and missing, 0-1.
But you can't get over anxious in this situation. The bases are loaded. Sydney Watts is a swing and miss pitcher. She wants you to lose your discipline.
Watts and the Falcons in a dicey situation here at the top of the 2nd, the 0-1. Toss the bat head at it. It's a head off the knob. The throw to first in time. Got her as Toth. They're covering the bag. And boy, oh boy, by the skin of their teeth, the Falcons escaped the second without giving up a run.
Really? I mean, I thought it hit her, and then it was off the knob. They keep playing. That was.
And we go bottom two as I believe actually hold everything.
They're going to have a conversation.
I think, well, it's I believe that's Taggart that was saying that it's off the wrist, but no, I think everything stands. Everyone's walking back to the dugout. We stand as it is. Bottom of the second we go. It's still a 1-0 Falcon lead.
We know when it comes to insurance, you have so many choices. But if you're looking for someone who lives in your community, someone who cheers for your community, and someone who works for your community like you're part of our family, well then please let us introduce ourselves. Hi, we're Heiner Insurance. How can we help?
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
It's the bottom of the second, middle of the Falcon order, 5-6-7 due up with Sydney Watts, the Georgia Tech commit, leading things off. 492 average, 12 home run on the season. Not just a pitcher, folks.
And she's done a really good job this year. She had a little bit of a slump halfway through the season and did a really good job of zeroing in, making adjustments, and really getting hot at the right time.
First pitch swinging strike. Let's talk about these playoffs. That home run in the regional final, home run in the state semifinal, both monstrous shots to left field. Second pitch bounces in there. It's 1-1 the count. Watts supplies so much power in her swing, natural power, that when she makes contact, it tends to go a long way. 1-2.
You can tell by her swing, you can just tell the torque that she uses in that swing. Power comes from the lower half, and she understands that so well.
One, two. Watts watches it outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. No doubt, Falcons are not comfortable with this 1-run lead. Would definitely love to add some more offense for Sid. She blasts that one. Left field. Stay fair. Stay fair. And it goes just foul. No. Do we have a call? We have a call. It's a home run. It's go. Round Schripper. 3rd game in a row. Sid Vicious sends one out of here. Her 13th home run of the season, most in a single year. The shockwave at the plate sends all the Falcons to the ground. 2-0 Fitch.
That just stayed fair.
I was seeing, it was curving too. It landed in foul, but it crossed in fair. We finally got the motion from the umpires. A second round tripper for the Falcons, both on solo shots. We were just talking about it. 3 home runs in 3 consecutive playoff games in. And I think she's hit 6 in this playoffs. Talk about, you talked about her hot swing as of late, but what is it so well in her swing right now that's generating all the extra power that we're seeing?
Well, I think what she's really done a good job of is she stopped swinging and missing at pitches that she shouldn't swing at. Pitch selection is really important for Sydney Watts. And that was a pitch right there. She knew she could handle 2-2. It's a mistake from Cassidy, and she hammers it.
Morgan Roby up to bat. Roby, a .485 hitter with 17 runs batted in and a home run on the season. She swings and misses at the first pitch. Only a sophomore, but I mean, Ant, you talk about the defense that Roby has and just her swing at the plate. You got to feel like once her eligibility opens up, there's going to be some colleges with interest for her. She slaps that one to first on the roller, trying to recover it. Throw back to second, not in time. Roby beats it out. It'll go as an error on the first baseman.
Everything getting a little bit tight now for Watkins. They're down 2-0. They know what kind of mountain that is against Sydney Watts. And everything's just a little bit harder now.
But we've seen this Falcons team have that tendency for that big explosive inning too, and the fact that so far Watkins, I mean, we're only in the second inning, has avoided that, but knowing that it could be looming at any point with this order too.
Well, there's a lot of pressure because at this point, like, you give up even one more run.
The bunt off of the third baseman's glove, McKee, and everybody's going to be safe as back on the second base bag. Took her foot off of it momentarily. Roby's back in. That'll go as a bunt single for Severin, and honestly, McKee made a heck of an attempt to try to get it just off the end of her glove.
She came out of nowhere in a dive for that and just barely couldn't make that. That's the game of inches.
Lily Stevens has been absolutely dynamite for the Falcons in the playoffs. She's managed to grab a hit in each of her last 3 games as the 8-hole hitter. She always finds a way to be productive at key times in the ballgame. Throw to second after a first pitch strike delivered to Stevens. Back in safely Roby, it's 0-1.
I don't know that throw. That was so late it wasn't even close. I don't know if you're just
especially with 2 on, nobody out. You don't want to advance base runners here.
Just trying to keep Roby honest maybe, but there was no chance of getting her. She's not coming nearly far enough off the base.
You might not see a bunt with this situation with Stevens, how good she's been hitting, but if Stevens, I think regardless of getting on or getting out, well, if she walks, obviously, bases loaded, you might not suicide squeeze, but with 1 out, I would expect maybe Rachel to try to get 2 in scoring position for Kayliana, who's currently in the hole for the Falcons. Swing and a miss. Stevens goes down cutting, and that'll be strikeout number 2 today for Cassidy.
And really, when Severin went into bunt, it wasn't a greatly executed bunt. It went up in the air. It was just right in the right spot. Let's see what Spalding has.
Spalding shows bunt, gets it down beautifully. That'll advance both base runners. Watkins will take the second out at first. Talk about it, too. If your 9-hole hitter maybe isn't the biggest high average hitter, if you can have them be productive in that way, too, it could still prove to be successful for teams as well.
So last time Kayliana came up, they went high and in on her, and she still was able to somehow go opposite way to left field for that pop-up out.
First pitch. Got it off the bat, strike 1.
I like using off-speed, too, against her. Any hitter, no matter how good they are, if you mess with their timing, you're going to give them fits.
Okay, quick calls for the timeout. 40 stolen bases on the season for Kayliana Ray. Only been caught once. Well, she's a menace when she does get on.
Who has that on her? I want to know. Who was the one that was able to catch her?
Called strike. That actually happened in the Walsh Jesuit game, and it wasn't more of a throwout as much as it was Kayliana came off of the base. She was safe. She came off of the base. Tag was applied and goes as a caught stealing.
Boo.
Quickly 2 strikes, though. Cassidy's pitch. Hit up the middle, through the infield. 2 more to score for Fitch. 1 is in. No, 1 to score. Throw goes past, though, the catcher, Wycuff, and now 2 will score. Kayliana ends up at third. Coach Ward and Kayliana showing a ton of energy over at the third base side.
Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes.
What do you call that? Single run batted in and another run scored off of the throw?
Off the air, yeah. One RBI, 1 error.
4-run lead for Fitch, and now Ayla Ray hit a home runner last time up. First pitch to her, bounces off of the catcher Wycuff, but she does keep it in front of her to keep Kay Quick at third. Anything that's past you, you might as well count as another run with Kayliana at third. Her speed, electric, especially if she's only got to go 60 feet. The 1-0. Outside it goes again. I think they're trying to avoid the inside pitch to Ayla Ray this time around.
Yeah, let's not try that again.
2-0 the count on the ace of base. The pitch. Outside 3-0. We talked about it before, Ant. Only 2 times in Sydney Watt's career she's given up 5 runs to Green and to North Canton Hoover, both in the playoffs, both in her freshman year. So when we talk about the 4-run lead and how much of an advantage that is for Austintown Fitch as Ayla Ray works the 4-pitch walk, You talk about any other runs that Fitch is able to add here, and now we start talking the mountain, the moon, the Mars theory again.
Right.
The first pitch, Toth takes a called strike. Toth struck out swinging on, I believe it was 3 pitches her first time up. So Cassidy really took care of Toth in their first meeting. That was back in the first inning. Outside, 1-1. Another college-level arm that the Falcons have been able to tag for 4 runs. You don't discredit the pitchers as much as you just have to credit how good of a lineup this is this year.
Well, so far the difference is one team is taking advantage of their opportunities, and the other isn't. Watkins has had runners on base both innings, and they haven't been able to get the big hits.
That bases loaded jam that Watts was able to get out of to start this top of the second inning was massive now looking back at it. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down, 2 on, bottom of the second inning. The pitch. Toth cuts and misses for the 3rd out of the inning. As Cassidy gets the strikeout to end the frame, but not before Sydney Watts starts the inning with a solo shot, and Kayleana Ray caps it off with a 2-run single, one of them credited as an RBI. 4-0 Fitch after 2 innings of play. We're back with the 3rd after this.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
Is your backyard ready for fun in the sun? Now's the time to get to Burnett Pools for the pool, spa, hot tub, or sauna you've been wanting at the season's lowest prices. Get on our installation list now and take advantage of 0% financing for 72 months. Buy now, pay later at your summer fun headquarters. Burnett Pools, Spas, and Hot Tubs.
Burnett Pools, we've got it all.
They got it all at Burnett Pools, and we got it all here at ysnlive.com, a buffet of sports, if you will, as we got everything from lacrosse that's on the network. We've had hockey, we've had baseball, softball, basketball, football, volleyball, you name it, it's been on the network, as we thank all of our proud sponsors and supporters for giving us another year here at ysnlive.com. Falcons here starting the 3rd inning with a 4-run lead, and you got to feel like Sydney Watts is pitching with a ton of confidence in the circle here, but she's going to face the top of the order again, 1-2-3. Kylie Troughton stood up on that inside pitch, ball 1.
Now, if you're Watkins, you're thinking, okay, we've had success, though. We've put runners on both innings. Cassidy has to bow up and not allow any more runs, but then you got to take advantage of your opportunities. You had the bases loaded in the 2nd.
The 1-0 to Troughton. Called strike.
That's a good pitch. Good spot on the outside corner after coming high and tight.
Troughton 0 for 1 today. Struck out swinging back in the 1st.
Memory serves, though, it was a pretty solid at bat.
She did. She forced a ton of pitches. It was a full count. Watts waving off the pitch she just called, and time going to be called by the batter Troughton.
You can see this lineup, Sid's trying to work it through in her mind. Okay, how should I attack these girls?
The 1-1. Called strike, 1-2.
Well, that was a good call, Sid. That was a good call.
It's been a hotly debated topic for the people that have watched Fitch games this year on Sydney Watts calling her own pitches. What is the advantage to Watts calling her own pitches at the high school level, Ant?
No one sees what the hitters are doing with a better vantage point than Sydney Watts. I mean, she has high softball IQ. College coaches are going to love it because then you can have conversations between innings. What do you think we should call in this situation? And Sydney can intelligently talk back to him. Aaron Dixon, the pitching coach at Georgia Tech, is going to love someone that has that much experience calling pitches when she gets to Atlanta.
Count 2-2 on Trouton, working another good plate appearance. The pitch to the Watkins leadoff bat. Runs off the table as it just dropped. 3-2.
I also don't want it to discredit at all what Coach Spalding does for Sydney Watts in the pitching staff, because between every inning, they're talking. What are you seeing? What should I throw? And Coach Spalding is a great pitch caller and a great pitching coach for Austintown Fitch.
Count full on Trouton. Another one that she's worked full. Again, the payoff. Up and off of the glove of Folkwine. Trouton hustling past first as Folkwine says, keep yourself right there.
Folkwine was very alert there, because with her speed, she would have taken second if you got lazy on that play. So Folkwine, very good job being an alert catcher.
Jordan Wyckoff 1 for 1 today against Watts. She had a double her first time out, was later thrown out at third though.
Yep, tried to stretch it into a triple. And Kayleana Ray made up for the miscue in the outfield by throwing a beamer into her sister. And the relay was perfect.
First pitch, ball 1 to Wyckoff.
But that's what I love. Like, Kayleana's a freshman out there. How many freshmen will make that mistake in this kind of atmosphere and then compound it or overthrow their cutoff? Never happened.
That's been the story of this Falcons defense, too, as they've been able to pick up Watts in sticky situations. 2-0 the count on Wyckoff. Nobody out.
They're starting to lay off that rise ball a little bit more consistently.
Watts has already surrendered 3 walks today. Not something that we're used to seeing out of the junior this season. She has 2-0 the count to Wyckoff here. Swing and a miss. Gets back in the count with some heat.
Got her being aggressive on 2-0. Wyckoff had the green light. That was a strike anyway.
2-1 the count. And the 2-1 to Wyckoff. That's a sky pop. Got underneath it. Ayla Ray calling everybody off. So is Orhe. And Orhe bumps into Ray. But Ray still completes the out. In that situation, though, you should, if you're the infielder, typically give way to your outfield that has the better angle on it.
No, but that was high enough. Ray was under it. She was waving everybody off.
But in that case,
yeah, Jorge has to be able
you gotta
to
have
peel.
We've said, though, have outside voices. This is a loud stadium, a raucous crowd right now. You can't just be using signals. You got to be using the loudest of the loud for your voice. As out number 1 recorded. Going back to that, Watts calling her own pitches, though, and in baseball, you typically see a lot of pitchers. They'll call their own pitches. They'll call their own games. Why don't you see it as much in the world of softball?
I think it's just an elevation of the game. You're seeing more pitchers nowadays that are going to consistent pitching lessons and raising their softball IQ astronomically, and you're going to start seeing it more and more.
0-1 as a foul ball.
I also think coaches have to get okay with it a little bit, Coach Ward even admitted he was uncertain about it at first. He didn't really know if he wanted to allow it, but the first game that she did it, it was, I think, a no-hitter.
A perfect game, I think. The first game she did it the whole way by herself, I think, one of the first.
That was pretty much all Coach Ward needed to know at that point.
Ball 1. Coach Ward, too, Falcons coach, talked about his tenure with Austintown Fitch and how he's had to change his philosophy with the philosophy of how softball has changed over the years, too. And he said it. He's been on record saying, the coach I was 6 years ago, I probably wouldn't even know that coach anymore. And I've had to change a lot of things to get the team to where it is and to see the success that we're seeing. But the best coaches are, you want to keep your culture intact year to year, but you got to be willing to give a little bit to the way that players are, because the way these players, the way that kids are, change from generation to generation and from year to year, it seems like.
I think one of the things he did really well is he learned how to let go of a little bit of control. He used to micromanage a lot, and he'd admit that as well. And now he's just, you know what? My players are really good athletes. I'm going to manage them, but I'm also going to trust them to go and do what they do best.
The 1-2 to Thompson. That's hit into center field. Kayleana Ray reads it well, throws to first. What a cannon throw. And they get slid back in safely is Trouton. But You get to see some of what I've gotten to enjoy all year with Kayleana Ray's arm in center. She's got a cannon. She has an outfield assist that she threw from the wall at center field to home plate, getting one of the Canfield Cardinals out in that game earlier this year. Anthony's still slack-jawed to the left of me,
That
folks.
was, wow.
What an improvement. I don't even want to say improvement because Kylie Folkwine held down center field last year, but what an advantage to bring Kylie behind the plate. That ball off of Kylie's glove, and that'll allow Trouton to get into scoring position because of it off the wild pass ball, excuse me. Would you call that pass ball or wild pitch? Do you think Kylie?
It looked like she was crossed up. I'd call it a pass ball.
Pass ball.
But, that's another one like the error earlier, kind of a 50-50.
Yeah.
Go either way. It was tall, it was high, but it went off the tip of her glove, so either way.
2 down, top of the third. Runner at second for Watkins Memorial. Courtney Dobbs with a 1-0 count on her. She'll fly it towards first base side foul ground and get it out of play.
Another opportunity for Watkins, though. They've had now, I think, 3 innings in a row with a runner in scoring position.
Dobbs reached on an error her last time up. An error at short by Ray.
Yeah, the throw that kind of pulled Abby Toth off the bag.
The 1-1.
Good block.
Low, 2-1.
Kylie Folkwine is such a high-level catcher. It's just, like you said earlier, she wasn't a bad center fielder by all means, but you want her where she's best, and that's behind the plate.
One of the best catchers defensively, best two-way catchers. We talked about Figueroa. Folkwine right there in that same conversation.
Both
pitch
in the same
just
conference.
Missing. 3 balls and a strike. Falcon faithful not happy about it.
Both in the same conference. Like what?
Yeah.
Like what?
Best friends as well, too. Really good friends, both those families, both those young ladies are, too. And that certainly helps being able to bounce ideas off of each other when you're 2 of the best catchers in the state.
And we talk about the great pitching, but every pitcher that we have in the YSN has a really good battery mate that's high level.
The 3-1. And another walk worked by Watkins, their 4th of the day.
That one's not terrible. You're up 3-1. You don't want to give in with a runner in scoring position. You have 2 outs. You just got to take care of business here now.
Kendall Tellings up to bat, .456 average, 4 home runs, 35 runs batted in. She walked in her prior plate appearance back in the second. But a big fly here can make it a 1-run game, and she has 4 of them on the season. Ball 1.
They're still doing a really good job laying off the rise ball.
You don't want to abandon it completely, but how do you change, and how do you, if you're Watts, kind of adjust if they're not getting the chases like you're wanting?
Start throwing it for a strike. I mean, you have 3-level rise ball for a reason. You can throw one to the top of the zone. It still breaks well, but then all of a sudden it gets to the batter's head. Like, wait a minute. That rise ball is breaking, but now it's a strike? And then they start swinging at the stuff that you put back up in the top of the zone. So,
count 2-0 to Tellings. First and second occupied, 2 down, top of the third here for Watkins. Swing and a miss, 2-1, and perhaps helped Watts out a little bit there.
That was probably ball 3. When I'm praising him for laying off the rise ball, and Watts goes right back to it, swing and a miss.
Two and 1 the count. Watts feeds the call to Folkwine. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Caught up in between her swing, it looked like, again, halfway through.
Yep. Losing a little bit of that discipline that she had in the first 2 pitches.
Kendall Tellings did, like we said, walk in her first plate appearance. Count went from 2-0 to 2-2. 2 down in the top of the third, 2 on for Watkins Memorial. The 2-2 pitch from Sid. Up high above the zone, no chase as Folkwine charges the circle to keep Trouton at the second base bag.
That one wasn't competitive enough. It was high, it was out.
Count full. Tying run could come to the plate with McKee in the on-deck circle. Watts with the call, the 3-2 to Tellings coming up. Into the rock, the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Sydney Watts gets out of another jam with her 4th strikeout today.
I think that was just a fastball, Ty. Just Philo, here you go.
Just said, here you go, try to hit me, as blew it right by her for the 4th K. We go to the bottom of the third. Falcons maintain their 4-run lead.
Craftsmanship to us is 60 years of pride and dedication.
Passed down from generation to generation.
The hardwood floors that your kids take their first steps on.
The solid wood doors that you quietly close at night.
The things we create day in and day out are the products that end up turning your house into a home.
At Baird Brothers Fine Hardwoods, uncompromising quality and craftsmanship built our business.
And it will keep us moving forward for generations to come.
You're here to be part of something bigger, to make things happen. For you, college is about knowledge being shared and learning experiences that aren't limited to the classroom. On campus, you want to matter. It's about engaging every day, building relationships with students, with mentors, with the community, in the heart of a reinvented city. We are that something bigger. We are Youngstown State University, and proud.
There are 4 members of GoldenStringRadio.org that works for your sports network. Super Dave, Kristen, Scotty, and myself. And if you love our work at Golden String, Isle, and Purple Cat, you are going to love the soon-to-be-open GABA Camp out at Farmer Casey's Ranch in
Welcome back, everybody. It's the bottom of the 3rd inning. Kylie Folkwine leads things off for Austintown Fitch. Takes ball 1-0. Goes Folkwine, Sydney Watts, Morgan Roby, 4, 5, 6 in the Falcon order. Leading by 4 runs. Fitch scoring 1 in the first, 3 in the second. Called strike, 1-1 on Folkwine. For Watkins, though, you got to feel like this almost needs to be a shutdown inning now.
Oh, it has to. You know, you have to keep this at 4. It's got to be locked down at this point.
Line, third base line, just goes foul. It was dribbling fair and then took a turn last second before hitting the bag.
It hit the safety bag, by the way, for those of you listening, thinking, well, it hit the bag, it should be fair. It hit the safety bag on 3rd. There's a safety bag on 3rd. What am I saying? I'm stupid. Then it must have not have hit the bag.
I said before it hit the bag. It dribbled out.
Okay.
It dribbled out of play. Folkwine gets called, looking, though, on a beautiful changeup. What a strikeout by Cassidy.
All right, so now you start to think, when am I going to throw Sydney Watts? Because she took my velocity very, very far last time up.
Watts was intentionally walked twice against Walsh Jesuit as she swings and misses at the first pitch. She was hit by a pitch twice in yesterday's contest against Fairfield.
That's the first drop ball I've seen Cassidy throw today.
0-1 the pitch.
Oh,
Watts waves and misses again, 0-2.
She goes drop ball changed up, says, okay, you're cheating on my velocity. I'm just going to change speeds on you.
Watts tried to do a repeat of her last at-bat with that swing. The 0-2. Watts fights it off with a foul ball to the netting.
And that was a chase pitch, curveball outside, way out of the zone. Watts was able to get a bat on it, but that's the one that Cassidy won the strikeout for. So good job by Watts to make sure that that's fouled off.
The 0-2.
Yep, same
Watts
pitch.
looks it outside, 1-2. Watkins crowd wants the strike 3 called.
No, that's a good adjustment. And I think even Cassidy would say, hey, I'm trying to go out of the zone there. She swung at the last one, and Watts holds her water this time. And
swing and a miss, though, on the pitch low. They throw to first to complete the strikeout. Back-to-back Ks by Cassidy. She's got 4 on the day now.
It was the low off speed that gave Sydney Watts trouble in that at bat.
Correction, 5 on the day for Cassidy. And that's one of the keys, too. If we see Cassidy's strikeout numbers to this Falcon lineup getting up there. One of the highest. We've seen 6 this year. She's already got 5. First pitch ball, 1-0. What is she doing different than every other pitcher that we've seen? Obviously, the Falcons have the 4 runs, but what is she doing different to get the strikeout volume that she's getting against this Falcons team?
I think she's just doing a good job changing speeds. A lot of pitchers in high school, they're even if they have a changeup, it's not changing dramatically enough to really get hitters off timing. It might go from maybe you'll see like a 56-mile-an-hour velo to maybe a 50-mile-an-hour changeup.
The 2-0 pitch popped up to short, calling everyone off. Thompson will make the catch on the infield for out number 3. And hold that thought. We'll come back to it in the bottom half or top half of the fourth inning when we get back on YSN Live.
My guy keeps it 100% of the time. He wants all 100, won't settle for 99. And it's more than stats because there's people in those numbers. And I was one of the lost sheep. I'm so glad he cares for all 100. I'm 100% safe, 100% free, 100% love. I can be 100% me. He gave all 100 when they put him up on that tree. That's 100% passion for 100% free. So if I play in front of 100, or if I play in front of 2, there's an audience of 1 getting 100% of what I can do.
Why is 21 News the watchdog station?
How come the equipment was purchased without knowing if it's compatible? Millions have gone to waste.
Seeing an uptick in check fraud.
We break down everything you need to know.
So none of the soil underneath the rail lines is contaminated.
Pointing to several gaps in EPA data.
What can you say to the Youngstown community to ensure this is the
Back here at the top of the fourth inning of this Division I state championship game at Akron Firestone Stadium. Ty Bartel with my color commentator Anthony Hartwig, our producer DJ Yoakley. Today as the Falcons leaders by 4 runs here to start the top of the fourth inning. It is 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Warriors with Ava McKee leading things off.
And Watkins has put a runner in scoring position every inning, and you just have to wonder how many more times that's going to happen.
McKee popped up to Watts on a bunt attempt, her first time up. First pitch, ball 1, 1-0.
Watts is struggling a little bit with her command today. 4 walks.
Just one of those days, too. You can't really point to anything. It's an all-turf field, similar to exactly the same almost to Austintown Fitch's setup as well. It's just not getting the calls and not getting the pitches on the outer third as she's used to getting, but she pumps one in there, 1-1. And of course, I mean, it's a shutout here in the top of the fourth that she's pitching.
Right.
We're just we're always so hypercritical of.
You have to be. I mean, like when you're trying to analyze Sydney Watts, you hold her to a higher standard. She holds herself to a higher standard.
The 1-1 cutting and missing is McKee. 6, 7, 8 in the order. All solid hitters, all batting over 300, but this is the part where you see the batting average dip about 100 points. This is the one where you want quick outs if you're the Falcon defense.
And even if the score stays the same, Sydney Watts will tell you after the game, that wasn't my best performance, and that's just the kind of player she is.
The 1-2. Missing inside, 2-2. Watts actually ranked the Fairfield perfect game in the state semifinal game yesterday her best game all time, because she said situationally the game that it was too, and the performance that she had, she says it's, in her opinion, the best in the circle. Maybe some recency bias in there, but she's had a lot of great performances though, but she credits that one as her best. She goes up the ladder to get another strikeout. Fanning McKee on the rise ball for strikeout number 5 today. So both Watts and Cassidy with 5 strikeouts.
That'd be an interesting stat. How many times does Watts get struck out?
I know, right? And we talked about with Cassidy too, and you mentioned her repertoire of pitches too, and what she can go to, similar to Watts, where you see 4+ pitches that these arms can go to.
Just what I've seen today, Cassidy looked like she has a little bit more of a seasoned changeup.
First pitch strike to Gerhardt.
A little bit more of a seasoned changeup.
That was the difference for Watts' freshman to sophomore year when Watts and this Falcons team lost to that North Canton Hoover team in the Elite 8-round regional championship back in 2022. She worked throughout her whole offseason, battled through a injured foot as well to be able to add some pitches to her arsenal, and she utilizes now a changeup, a screwball, a curveball.
Her freshman year, she learned the lesson that all good pitchers learn eventually. People will catch up to velocity. And she only relied on her velo her freshman year, and Hoover caught up to it. So she said, okay, I got to mix speeds.
1-1 the count here on Gerhardt. The pitch. She'll foul it back. Bounces off the netting. Folkwine able to locate it. 1-2 the count.
Timed that up well.
A lot of these hitters for Watkins Memorial have been pretty on top of it timing-wise. It's just barreling it up has been the difficult part. Obviously, yeah. There's always that darn second part to it.
All you have to do is barrel up 69 miles an hour that's moving. Come on, why can't you do that?
The 1-2. Up above the letters, 2-2.
And I think in that bases loaded situation, if there was a radar gun on Sid, I think she might have been in the 70s because I just felt a little bit more juice in that situation.
She says she actually does better when she doesn't even know a gun's in the area gunning her too. She doesn't even want to think about it. She's a very just kind of operate in the circle.
And
foul it back again, 2-2.
Now that she's already committed, like that means nothing. Like you're going to college, you're good. You don't have to worry about consistently getting your velo up. Georgia Tech's not going to come at you and say, oh, your senior year, you're not 73 yet, bye. You know, that's not going to happen. So, you know, Sydney can relax on trying to always keep track of what her velocity is.
The count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Gerhardt struck out back in the second, 0 for 1 today against Watts. The 2-2.
She went.
They appeal to first, didn't go around, they say no swing, 3-2.
I stand mistaken.
Count is full. Watkins looking for a base runner for the 4th consecutive inning. They did have one in the first, but was thrown out at third immediately off of that double by Wyckoff. The payoff from Sid. Little looper, third base side, trying to go for a diving attempt. Roby couldn't get a glove on it, but nice effort by the Falcon third baseman on the try.
Wonder if she meant to dive there or if she fell because it wasn't really timed up, you know, with the ball falling.
I think she also saw third base. Yeah, third base coach for the Warriors kind of.
Yep.
He was trying to get out of the way, and it didn't work out. Count full. Gerhardt. A really nice plate appearance here against Watts. The payoff. Hit to short, slow roller. Grabbing it, throwing to first. Got her in time, Ayla Ray. What a throw.
That is why you charge the softball, everybody.
Ayla Ray underrated defensively as a shortstop. Everyone looks at the offensive numbers and the eyes get real big, but she makes those routine plays look routine, and she makes the special plays even look a little bit routine as well with the way she charges and gets her by a step. 2 down in the inning. Grace Whitman walked her lone plate appearance back in the second. First pitch above the letters, 1-0. Whitman, a .316 bat with 8 runs batted in this year. Called strike, 1-1.
That's some extra velocity on the inside corner.
Talking about a pitcher that potentially by the end of her senior year could be living in the 70s too, which is absolutely crazy to think about. Another swing and a miss, 1-2. The count now on Whitman. Falcons trying to answer with a 1-2-3 inning after Cassidy sent the Falcons down in order in the bottom half of the third. Watts the 1-2 to Whitman. Came in and no, I think it did it. No, they say it hit the knob of the bat. Dead ball.
Another knob shot.
See that a lot too. I mean, it's all diamond sports. Supposed to track it too. Track it knob to.
I mean, you had the one that stayed in play.
Yeah, it's a couple of knob shots. Again, the count 1-2. Watts, the rock back, the step forward, fires. Above the letters again, no chase. And you've mentioned it all game long, Ant. They're doing a masterful job of not chasing that rise ball, and that's the first step to not letting Watts beat you with stuff outside the zone.
First of many steps, as you can tell, it's still scoreless, but they've done a pretty decent job staying off of her rise ball.
Now the 2-2 from Sid. Called strike three, froze her with one at the top of the zone.
Remember when you asked me a couple of pitches ago how you do it? You throw the rise ball for strikes, just like that.
Half a dozen strikeouts now for Sid as she gets 2 more this inning. Watkins goes in order. We go to the bottom half of the 4th. Falcons leading it by 4.
Going the extra mile means doing more for the people who matter most to you. It's how you take care of your family and how you care for yourself. How hard you work on the job and how hard you play with others. How you help the person next to you and the people who need you. At Greenwood Chevrolet, we know going the extra mile is about more than what we do at our dealership. It's what you do after you leave.
The relief you've been looking for is here. We promote the body's natural self-healing. The power of care is nothing without hope, and our acupuncture treatments were created with true healing in mind. Find your hope at Meridian Healthcare.
Bottom of the 4th inning as the Falcons bats coming back around. Sammy Severn, Lily Stevens, Rachel Spalding at 7, 8, 9. Bottom of the Falcon order due up here in the bottom of the 4th. Severn had a bunt single last time up.
That was the one that third made a diving attempt on and went off her glove.
Really gave it her all, did McKee, but just couldn't get a hold of it. Strike call to Severn to start.
Softball fans will remember the Jesse Warren catch a few years ago in the World Series for Florida State. Looked just like that, a bunt in the air that she came out of nowhere to make the catch right in front of the circle.
Swinging strike, 0-2. Making her way through the order the second time around, getting a strikeout, and boy, oh boy, that's 3 strikeouts in the last 4 batters as Cassidy fans her 6th, equaling the most strikeouts by a pitcher against this Falcon lineup this year with Milena Totes, half dozen.
Yeah, and I'm trying to just figure out what's clicking all of a sudden.
Falcons. Stevens takes a first pitch ball. Falcons did seem like they were aggressively swinging that first time through the order, maybe a little bit too aggressive, and Cassidy playing into that a bit.
Yeah, most of these have been swinging strikes. That one.
Swing and a miss. 5 of the 6 have been by way of swinging.
You see what happened there, she went and flirted with the outside corner. It was called for a ball, and then she extends even more, and you chase it, which is just a little bit of a mistake on the batter's part.
The 1-1 cuts and misses. 1-2. Stevens.
That's a difference maker there. She's dropping the ball a little bit. Kind of ditching the rise ball. Going towards the bottom of the zone.
Stevens struck out, swinging back in the second. 1-2, the pitch to her. Swing and a miss. Another K. 4 out of the last 5 as Cassidy fans her 7th.
This tells me that 1, she has a really good coaching staff, and 2, she's really smart because she's made adjustments. And she said, I talked about it a couple of games ago, every hitter has holes in their swing. I don't care how good you are, what level you're playing, you have a hole. And they found it a little bit with this lineup.
First pitch, ball 1. Cassidy now most strikeouts against this Falcon lineup this year with 7.
That's amazing in its own right, with the pitchers that Fitch has had to go up against.
Swing and a miss, 1-1.
Just drilling that same spot, low and outside to these right-handed hitters. That'll be very interesting to see how she attacks the Ray sisters, who are lefties, because you can't go in that same spot.
A 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2 on Spalding.
It's just dropping right off the table. And Fitch keeps fishing at it.
The 1-2. A pop-up, almost a great diving catch by Wycuff. I love it. The hustle plays that we're seeing from both teams, they're laying everything out. You can tell it's state championship softball right now.
We're rooting hard for Fitch, but you can't help but feel for these players. They're just like making amazing diving plays and being so close, and it's not there.
Put the bunt down on the 1-2, forcing Watkins to make a defensive play, and they do, as Tellings comes from first. Dobbs covers from her second base position to get the third out of the inning.
It's a good bunt.
Falcons go in order as Cassidy has retired the last 7 Fitch bats. We go to the top of the 5th. Falcons up by 4.
Hi, I'm Colin Chupa.
And I'm Kelsey Clem from K-Squared Marketing. Our boutique marketing firm specializes in media planning and buying, public relations, event marketing strategies, and strategic sponsorships. We can integrate our services with your existing game plan, or we can be your entire marketing team. Your goals, our game plan. Let's win together. Call K-Squared Marketing at 330-623-2730 or visit ksquared.marketing to learn more.
It's storm season.
I think we're under the gun for some heavy storms over the next couple of hours.
And Storm Tracker 21 is ready.
This is probably the one we're keeping a closer eye on.
On air.
We'll see some scattered showers and perhaps a rumble of thunder or two.
Online.
All right, let's talk high-risk futurecast and the timing of this weather.
On social media and on our app.
More pockets of rain as we go throughout our
Stay ready with Storm Tracker 21.
The severe weather threat now through around sunset this evening.
Back here, top of the 5th inning, top of the Warriors order. It's 1-2-3 due up Kylie Trouton, Jordan Wycuff, and Malia Thompson. This part of the order, 1 for 5 today against Watts with a double and a walk. Trouton is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and walked back in the 3rd.
That one was erased because he was thrown out in the 3rd.
You talk about so many plays where it feels like Watkins could have gotten the gears turning and they've been thwarted. Still trying to figure out something offensively as a first pitch swinging. That'll help, and a leadoff single by Trouton.
Remember how the last inning ended and how that'll affect the rest of the game. Sydney Watts threw a rise ball at the letters that was called for a strike. It's a calculated risk because, as I was telling you off the air, if Watkins times it up and says, okay, you're going to put the rise ball there, it's going to go a long way. But you also start to get in their mind a little bit where they can swing, where they can't.
Second hit given up today by Watts. Her first one was given up to this young lady, Jordan Wycuff. First pitch, ball 1. Wycuff, 1 for 2, a double, and a pop up to short. Wycuff, though, the 600-plus average hitter, an absolutely electric catcher for the Watkins Memorial Warriors. You talk about best catchers in the state, her name's also in that conversation. The 1-0. Chopper to second. Severn gets a hold of it, makes the short toss to first. They'll take the out there, but Trouton advances to second off the fielder's choice.
It's a really good play for Severn because she had to also deal with the runner running in front of her and not be distracted by that to make the play.
Malia Thompson steps in. Sun going down, I'm starting to see Firestone under the lights for the first time in my professional career, and boy, oh boy, and it is a beautiful sight here.
Yeah, we got a little bit on Thursday in the South Range semifinal. It's a nice one. It's a nice facility. It's built for prime time.
First pitch, swinging strike, 0-1.
Fond memories here of the Akron Racers playing late into the night.
Malia Thompson, 0 for 2, struck out looking in the first. Flew out to Kayliana Ray in the 3rd. The 0-1. Pop it back to the netting. Dead ball, foul, 0-2.
She had some of the best contact against Sydney Watts. It was just hit right to center field.
Kayliana Ray making that fantastic play, and then the throw in as well to first that almost caught the base runner there. Count 0-2, runner at second base for Watkins. The pitch to Thompson. Ran inside, and they say dead ball
one that
off
hit
the knob.
bat. It's like 3 times. Watkins Memorial has tried to hold off on a ball. It's probably a ball.
I was trying to explain Thompson, it looks like saying that it hit her. Or saying that, I believe she was trying to say that it caught a piece of the hand. At least the way she was pointing to it.
Well, the only way you can prove that is show the welt. Show the laces of the softball.
DJ points out, though, great point, too. Hands do become a part of the bat, too, as you're swinging it through the zone. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Came back to Kay Thompson for Watts' 7th of the day. That's a big strikeout, fanning the big bopper, the one with 12 home runs in this order. And now Courtney Dobbs has been aboard both times, reached on an error in the second, walked in the third.
It's another inning where Watkins has a runner in scoring position, and they're flirting with wasting it again.
2 down, top of the 5th. First pitch, ball 1, 1-0.
If you scored runs by getting in second, Watkins would be ahead right now. That's not how the game works.
Watts searching for the 3rd out of this 5th inning. 2 down, runner at second. Watkins looking to get on the board, trailing by 4. Pitch, went around, strike 1.
You do not want to be down 0-2 to Sydney Watts. Now she has everything that she can throw at you. Or is it 1-1? It's 1-1. I'm by though.
That's Thompson. The count 2-1. Runner at second, the pitch. Swing and a miss. Foul tip, rather, 2-2.
I'd really like to see Watts' swing and miss rate this year.
It's got to be up there. It definitely has to be. She had her season lowest on base or batting average against at .065. Her on base percentage against her is .130. The 2-2 swing and a miss. Another strikeout by Sid. She fans a pair to get out of the runner at second base jam to start the inning. Bottom of the 5th we go. Still scoreless for Watkins. Austintown leading by 4.
At Joe Dickey Electric, no job is too big or too small. We do it all. We power the plants that help bring us together, the businesses that help our community thrive, and the home that you've been dreaming of. We'll even install a light bulb for you. With over 65 years of commercial, industrial, residential, and 24/7 emergency services, you can trust the experts at Joe Dickey Electric because we are everything electrical.
YSN is very important to me because it gives me a platform to talk about what I love and what I have a true passion for in life, and that is sports. The possibilities are just endless, and every day we continue to grow and get better. My name's Scotty Mitcher, and my sports network is your sports network.
It's the bottom of the 5th inning, but it's the top of the Falcon order. Kayleana Ray, Ayla Ray, and Abby Toth all due up here. As this part of the lineup with Kayleana Ray and Ayla Ray, they both are 1 for 2 today. Kayleana and 2 RBI single back in the second. Flew out back in the first. She leads things off here for the Falcons. First pitch to Kaylee, and it's up high, ball 1.
So I'm really interested to see where Cassidy starts to attack the Ray sisters, because she's been in a groove and made adjustments on the rest of the hitters.
7 straight she's retired.
But this is the first time in that groove that she's faced these two.
2-0. This is an inning you feel like if Watkins wants to make the comeback, crucial that they hold scoreless here, the Falcons. The 2-0. 3-0. The eye is so good by both the Ray sisters, and it's part of what makes them so successful. Not too often do you catch them swinging at pitches outside of the zone. The 3-0. Taking for a walk, for pitch walk, and That's probably the last batter in the order that you want to give a free pass to.
No, thank you.
We'll see with a 4-run lead if the Falcons are putting the chips on the table to try to get that 5th run in and get Grand Slam proof. Kayleana Ray, plenty of speed, but Wycuff is a cannon of an arm. First pitch, ball 1. Wycuff got that rise ball and looked like they were strategically tossing that one to try to get Kayleana.
It's very interesting to have the shortstop come and be the one covering second.
Pitch low, 2-0.
Because you have Ayla Ray, who's really good at going opposite field, and you're pretty much giving her the 5-6 hole.
Ray homered in the first, walked in the second, 1-for-1 total today. She puts the bunt down to third base. The speed of Kayleana will get her to second. They get her out at first, and Kayleana back in safely, sliding to second base as she rounded that second base bag and almost got caught in a bad predicament.
Almost. It's been Watkins' story all day, almost. They've had a lot of almosts. And,
nice bunt, but really good defense again by the Warriors to jump on it. Sacrifice bunt, it'll go for Ayla Ray. Kayleana Ray at second with Abby Toth up to bat. Toth 0 for 2 with a couple strikeouts. She'll take a first pitch strike looking 0-1. Toth hasn't been able to get anything going against Cassidy. Cassidy's had her number. Foul it back, 0-2. The 0-2 going down, swinging for the 3rd time today. Toth gets fanned by Cassidy as Carson Cassidy racks up her 8th strikeout against Falcon bats.
There's something Cassidy's doing that Toth can't get a lock in
on. We've said it earlier, and it seems like every hitter has that one pitcher that they can't get anything going against, and then that one pitcher that they seem to have everything going up against. First pitch, swinging strike for Kylie Folkwine. Folkwine 0 for 2, flew out to center in the first, struck out looking in the third. The pitch. Ball 1, 1-1.
It was a big strikeout for Cassidy because now it has Ray at second with 2 outs, and it really will probably take a base hit to score.
That's not going to get it done. It's a sky pop on the infield. First baseman Tellings calls for it in foul ground and makes the catch for out number 3. Falcons threaten with a runner in scoring position but can't bring them around to score. It remains a 4-run Austintown Fitch lead heading to the 6th.
Hi, I'm Carly Alfano.
And I'm Ryan Miller.
And we are from Hometown Insurance Solutions and WRS Insurance Solutions.
And did you guys know we do more than just Medicare products?
That's right, Ryan. We also offer life and health,
long-term care and disability,
and group health for your small business.
So for more details, feel free to give me or my friend Carly a call.
At Joe Dickey Electric, no job is too big or too small. With over 65 years of commercial, industrial, residential, and 24/7 emergency services, you can trust the experts at Joe Dickey Electric because we are everything electrical.
Auto Owners protects your home. Because, well, somebody should. That's simple human sense.
Ask Holloway Insurance in Columbiana and Lisbon if auto owners make sense for you.
We're back here for the top of the 6th inning. Middle of the order, Courtney Dobbs, Kendall Tellings, Ava McKee. That's 4, 5, 6 in this order. It's middle of the order against Watts. At this point, you're not at the point of trading outs for runs, but if you're Watkins, you're certainly running out of them too. You got to make something happen here.
You got 6 left. I mean, the middle of your order has to come up with something.
At least something here if you're the Warriors, even if you could scratch across one run here and just get some confidence back into that dugout.
They've had so many opportunities wasted.
Just to feel like the world isn't against them right now. Because it can feel like that when you feel like you're doing everything right and the baseball gods just aren't responding. The softball gods in this case, I should say. First pitch swinging. It's a pop fly behind the plate. It'll get out of play, making its way over the protective netting. 0-1. They must have heard us about the Finding Nemo thing, because that's the first time they played it this game. I think DJ might have went up and had a word with them.
No, if he did, he would never play it again.
0-1 the count following the foul ball from Dobbs. Dobbs reached both times, reached on an error and walked. 0-1 officially today. The 0-1 pitch. She'll hit that one out to left field on a line, just foul as Dobbs inches away from at least a double bouncing up in that corner.
That's the story of the night for Watkins, almost. It's almost there.
What are you saying as a coach, Ant, to just try to keep your players not getting frustrated? Because obviously once they start getting frustrated, they've already started to lose the game. How do you not keep them frustrated in situations like that?
I mean, softball's a process. You got to keep trusting the process and hope that it falls your way.
0-2 the count on Dobbs, the pitch. Slowed it down, popped it up, third base side again. It'll make its way out of play. Foul ground midway through the left field line here at Firestone, a little bit more narrow than what you got down the right field line. There's a cut-in with that fence that comes up halfway through, just past that third base line.
Yeah, but that's been there for a while, but they actually, recently, they raised that fence up higher. You used to be able to go over it to make a catch.
The 0-2. Hit out to second base. Sammy Severn grabs the chest high hop and tosses to first to get the first out of the inning. Bring up Kendall Tellings.
Go from lacing a ball to the corner to a ground out. It's a tough day.
First baseman, number 9, Kendall Tellings.
Tellings up to bat, walked in the second, struck out swinging in the third. She's 0-1 today.
Softball is a fickle monster, my friend.
The left-handed hitter steps in the box. First pitch from Watts. Swing and a miss, 0-1. The 0-1 pitch. Outside and got away from Folkwine. Nobody on base, so nothing doing there. You look at the records of these teams, though. Coach Ward in a 10-year tenure at Austintown Fitch has 177 and 50 record. Over on the other side for Coach Jellison at Watkins Memorial in his 11 years, 216 and 61 his record too. So you're talking about 150 more wins than losses for just about both of these schools and both of these coaches. They're doing something right.
And they both respect each other so much. I saw a long conversation happen before warm-up start, ended with an embrace. So they both really respect each other. They know each other well.
Yeah, Coach Ward has definitely said before that, I mean, how can you not respect the type of talent that this Watkins program shells out and the success that they have year in and year out at a Division I level? The 2-1, flared towards the left field foul line. Ayla Ray ranges over from her shortstop spot to make the catch and foul ground. My, oh my, that's a tough one, especially when it's going away from you.
That's the left fielder's ball unless you're Ayla Ray. You know?
We talked about it before, and I know you're a Penguins fan too, but I know I'm going to have to make my way out to YSU at least once or twice to see what the Ace is doing in college.
It's hard because the Horizon League does doubleheaders on Saturday, so it's like, man.
Yeah, we're right in the middle of. We'll have to find one of a stray day to make it out. 2 outs in the 6th. First pitch swinging and fouling, jumped ahead of it, but again, just a little bit too much. Is that a case too where
every mistake Sydney Watts has made tonight, they've been ahead of?
And that's been the case. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ant, I believe every one that they've been ahead of has been an off-speed pitch. Have they?
Yeah.
I don't think they've gotten ahead of the velocity yet.
A couple of rise balls in the first couple innings, but everything lately has been her changeup.
The 0-1 to McKee. She'll pop it back to the netting. 0-2.
And look, remember I said every hitter has a hole in their swing. Well, every pitcher makes mistakes. There's going to be mistake pitches every game. It's all about one, how many you make, and two, as a hitter, can you take advantage of it? You know?
No balls, two strikes. Watts trying to send Watkins down in order here in the 6th.
As much as Sydney Watts seems inhuman at times, she does miss spots. I mean, it's just...
It's possible.
It's nature.
Sit on the rock, the fire, the 0-2, above the letters 1 and 2. McKee with a ball and 2 strikes, the count on her. Falcons.
This gives me so much respect for Amherst Steel.
That Amherst Steel program, man, and that young lady that pitched for them too, if I'm not mistaken, was only a freshman. That Steel program, look out for them in the next few years.
I mean, they got so close.
And that was a good defensive performance as well. Similar makeup to what we see some of these state powerhouses have. That swing and a miss, strike 3. Watts fans another. 1, 2, 3. Go the Warriors here in the 6th. Falcons go to their half of the inning, but they also stand 3 outs away from a repeat in the state championship.
Let Chili's help bring your vision to life. Now through June 1st, take $100 off a $1,000 or more purchase when you make a donation to Believe in Dreams. Plus, get 12 months special financing. Browse our showroom for inspiration for everything from dining, living, and bedrooms to kitchen, laundry, and just in time for summer, your outdoor space. Plus, save big with these and many other warehouse specials. Hurry in, these offers won't be around long. Chili's, the best things in life happen at home.
What does it mean to be approved? I'm Tracy from Greenwood Chevrolet, and to me, it means more than getting you the right vehicle with the right financing. It means getting you to work on time, driving your kids to school, or going out and seeing the world. That's why I go the extra mile for my customers with the inventory and financing options customized to them. Come and see me so I can get you approved and out on the road. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
Bottom of the 6th inning, it's Sydney Watts, Morgan Roby, and Samantha Severn. 5-6-7 in the Falcon order.
This is going to be a really interesting at-bat.
First pitch, ball 1.
They've gone 2 different ways. Sydney Watts hits a home run, and then the off-speed gives you trouble in the second at-bat. So now, what's the third at-bat come to?
Swing and a miss, 1-1. You mentioned it, Ant. Solo home run for Sid in the second, and then she struck out swinging in the third. Her third at-bat today against Cassidy.
It's been a game of cat and mouse so far with these two.
Foul ball. You look at the last, though, three innings by Cassidy, and she's put together a really good 3-inning stretch. And honestly, I commend her gamesmanship, because for literally every other team I've seen that has put 4 runs on a pitcher like this, it turns into 8, then it turns into 10, and then all of a sudden you fall apart. Cassidy has gone the other way. She gave up the 4 runs and then managed to strike out, I think, 6 of her 8 batters then in the next few hitters that she faced.
She made adjustments. She started to go with her off-speed a little bit more, and also bottom of the zone. That's a good hold.
3 and 2.
That was one that she swung on in the last at-bat, so that tells you right there, okay, Watts is learning. She's making adjustments on the fly.
Michigan State versus Georgia Tech. The 3-2 cut on and missed, and Cassidy gets her again. Second time she struck out Watts today. And for Cassidy, she's racked up her 9th against Falcon bats.
Roll Tech still.
The baseman, number 42, Morgan Roby.
Morgan Roby steps up. Roby reached on an error back in the second, popped up to the shortstop in the third. 0 for 2 officially today. 1 down in the Falcons' half of the 6th. Called strike. 1 and 1 count. Cassidy's pitch. Roby slowed the bat down on it and got her to chop it foul down the third base foul line. 1 and 2. The 1-2. Pop it up. Again, going from the infield to the outfield, and it's off the second baseman. Dobbs' glove into right field. Severn will hold at first, as the Falcons will have a one-out base runner here in the 6th.
How many times do we see Fitch get a mistake like that and then just jump all over it?
As Roby stops at first. Call that a single, Ant? Call that an error? Error off the glove? I was just curious with the way she was ranging out. Yeah.
She touched it, it's an error. If she didn't touch it, you couldn't give it an error, but she touched it.
E4 officially. Second error of the day by Watkins. One on the other side for Fitch. So both of these teams not playing their cleanest game, I guess you could say, defensively.
Yeah.
But
and remember, that error for Amelia Ray was one that we talked about. Like, okay, close play. It did take her off the bag, but it was going to be a bang-bang play anyway. So it probably could have been scored either way.
Falcons.
We're just a little tougher on the Division I softball player. You know.
Absolutely. You got to be, though. You have to be. You hold them to a higher standard for a reason. That's what they ask to be held to.
If you ask Ayla Ray, she'll say that's an error. So
Samantha Severn up to bat.
They don't need protection.
Severn's 1 for 2.
Severn's been really good today. I've loved her at bats.
Swing and a miss. Sammy Buckets, they call her. Not just because she's good at basketball, but because of her clutch factor. They love how she turns it up in the playoffs, how her at-bats get a lot more difficult to try to retire her. She pulls that bunt attempt back for a ball.
Pulled it back just in time there. Was in the 6th spot last year. Did a really good job bridging the gap between the power in the top half and the power in the second.
Chopper into left field, a base hit. First and second occupied by Fitch. Severn, a 2-hit game once again as Sammy Buckets delivers for the Falcons.
I also love that she knows what kind of hitter she is. Okay, I'm fast. I want to get the ball in the ground. Did you see that swing? It was top of the ball, top right to the ground, and it finds a hole in the infield.
I love Sammy Severn because of the way she beats to her own drum. We mentioned it before. This Falcons team is goofy. They're quirky. They like to have fun before games. Sammy Severn's not that type of player, as a swinging strike by Lily Stevens. Severn, the type of girl that she'll tell you, I like my music. I like kind of being by myself. I like focusing, getting into the zone before a game. I don't like being all loosey-goosey. It's just not my style.
What makes this team so great, though, is that still fits in. Like, it's not like she's an outcast because she doesn't act the way that other players act. Like, okay, if that's what you need, then, do it.
Severn and Coach Bob Jones at the first base line have such a unique and close relationship, too. A lot of these girls love Coach Jones at first base. They, on record, calling him their spirit animal, whatever that means.
I stopped trying to figure softball players out. I've heard so many things to the dugout that I'm like, I don't even want to know.
Lily Stevens, 0-2, the count on her, trying to deliver with 2 on the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 10 by Carson Cassidy today.
The best quote from Fitch softball all season was, "You like to be annoying."
Absolutely. Rachel Spalding up to bat. Spalding 0 for 2, couple of groundouts to the pitcher, and then 2 first base.
Both of them were bunts, I believe.
They were, both bunt attempts.
And now this is a position where with 2 outs and 2 on, you really need her to swing away.
0-1 the count on Spalding. Showing the bunt, put it down, and the tag going to be applied to Spalding as she's trying to lay it down and try to get safe on an infield single. Falcons strand 2, 1 in scoring position as they lead it by 4, heading to the top of the 7th.
What does it mean to be approved? I'm Tracy from Greenwood Chevrolet, and to me, it means more than getting you the right vehicle with the right financing. It means getting you to work on time, driving your kids to school, or going out and seeing the world. That's why I go the extra mile for my customers with the inventory and financing options customized to them. Come and see me so I can get you approved and out on the road. Only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
The feeling when my hands are on the piano, it's become comforting. It's somewhere that I can express myself. I go to Youngstown State University, and My passion is playing music. YSU is allowing me to take what I love and turn it into a career and do it every single day of my life. I'm Alyssa, and I'm YN proud.
Welcome back, everybody. Top of the 7th. Falcons can trade outs for runs now. 3 away from a repeat Division I state championship. And this raucous Falcon country crowd is in full attendance tonight. It goes Gracie Gerhart, Grace Whitman, and Carly Taggart. 7, 8, and 9 in the Watkins order, and a ball 1 delivered to Gerhart. One of the things that I've been so impressed with, and we've seen an uptick in softball attendance this season, I think, in the entire area as a whole, but this Falcons community that has rallied around this team ever since last year's win, and it just seems like the crowds continue to keep getting bigger and bigger each game. Chopper, first base, goes to Watts. She'll just apply the tag to the runner, Gerhart, for out number 1.
I'm not even making this throw. I'm just going to beat you to the line. Cut out the middleman.
Ground out 1 unassisted, 1 away. Falcons 2 outs away from their 2nd consecutive Division I state championship. Whitman 0 for 1. Walked in the 2nd, struck out looking in the 4th. The pitch. Ball 1, 1-0. Falcons trying to be the 2nd YSN team today, the 2nd All-American Conference team today to win a state championship. The 1-0. Called strike, 1-1.
That's what I want from Watts in this inning, right at them with velocity, bottom of the order. No reason to nibble here.
Stepping on the rubber. Watts with the call to Folkwine. The 1-1 to Whitman. Foul hit back to the netting, 1-2. Watts has surrendered 2 hits today. She has walked 4 batters. But the most important stat is all of them left on base.
Yes. She has pitched so well with runners on, which is something that she doesn't have to do a lot, so it's even more impressive.
Whitman down in the count, 1-2. Falcons searching for 2 more outs to call themselves champions in the state of Ohio. The 1-2. Up above the letters, clipping off of Folkwine's glove. Call it 2-2.
It takes some really big research, but this might be the game that Watts has had the most runners in scoring position this year. It doesn't happen to her often. The way she's been able to dig deep and say, I don't even care. These high-pressure situations, I'm still going to make my pitches.
And the Falcons' defense making some diamond-level plays again today behind her. And when you have elite defense behind an elite pitcher, it really makes life hard trying to score runs. A 2-2 above the zone, 3 balls, 2 strikes.
That's another point that I want to get across before this game's over. You know, a lot of strikeout pitchers forget that they have a good defense behind them, and they fall into that trap of trying to fall in love with strikeouts. But Sydney Watts, when she realizes that she's not getting her strikeout numbers, she'll adjust and trust her defense.
Defense has come through big time all season long. Only 4 errors that they've committed all year, including 1 today. The payoff. Hit to second base. Severn times it up for the out on the liner.
All right, everybody up. Here we go.
Falcons 1 out away from a repeat. Ayla Ray and Morgan Roby starting to dance. You don't want to start the party too early. Need 1 more. A Let's Go Falcon chat breaks out. Falcon Nation is standing in full force. 2 down. State championship game. Carly Taggart in the box. The pitch from Watts. A foul back to the netting, 0-1.
You started to talk about how big the home run was in the first inning to just set the tone of this game.
So important to this Falcons team. Get Sid a lead, get her early, get her comfortable in that circle. The 0-1 to Taggart. Called strike as the Falcons 1 pitch away from a repeat at the state championship.
That was on the high inside corner, a beautifully spotted pitch. Let's go high and out this time. High outside rise ball.
1 strike away. Watts has her call. The rock, the fire, the pitch. Up and in, ball 1, 1-2.
Staying inside, that's okay. You got 2 more balls to work with. 3 more, actually. Like that above the hands, you're not going to do anything with it. Maybe now's the time.
9 strikeouts today for Sid. Allowing 2 hits, 4 walks. The 1-2. Foul it back, staying alive.
Just barely. It's another good spot.
Taggart, 1 for 2 today. She grounded out to Watts back in the second, hit a single in the 5th.
He's dropping that, peppering that high inside corner.
The count 1-2. Watts and the Falcons 1 pitch away. Falcon Nation firmly behind this Fitch softball team. The call, the deep breath from Watts. She's set into the rock, the step, the fire. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and the Falcons fly high for the 2nd consecutive Division I state championship. A mob scene behind the circle as Sid Vicious fans her 10th of the game to win the 2nd straight Division I state championship for the Austintown Fitch Falcons and their 2nd in school history. Wow, Ant. Well, Ant, when we talk about the ride that we've had with this team, with both of our teams, and with all of our teams this season too, you talk about how this game particularly played out. It almost felt like an exact copy of what we saw in that Campfield game where get runs early, trust your pitcher, and the dynamic electric arms that they had carried them the rest of the way.
Yeah, I said in that inning how big that home run was because it did. It set the tone. You know, Fitch offense plateaued a little bit against a really, really good pitcher, but it didn't matter at that point. You had 4 runs for Sydney Watts. I mean, that's all you need.
The Falcons go to 23-1 to end the year as Division I state champions. Watkins Memorial suffers just their 2nd loss of the year. They drop to 31-2 on the campaign.
This was not easy for Sydney Watts. You know, this offense put her in a lot of tough situations. A bases loaded Cam, probably more base runners than she's given up all year. But she grinded through it, proved a lot this game.
It started, in that bottom of the 1st, that solo shot by Ayla Reyes, one of my favorite softball players of all time. The ace of base came through in the state championship game again for Austintown.
In the last game that she's going to wear a Fitch uniform, too.
And, I mean, so proud of that young lady and everything that she's going to do and continue to do for the area at Youngstown State. Boy, oh boy, Penguins, you got a good one. But, Ant, as they get ready to do the trophy presentation, any final thoughts to wrap this one up?
What a softball season. We get 2 state champions, 3 in this championship. A lot of talent coming right back next year. I'm excited, man.
I'm excited. The sport of softball continues to grow. We here at YSN have tried to continue to help grow the sport of softball, but it starts and ends with each and every one of these young ladies on the field as they're bringing so many young generations of fans and little girls into the sport and gaining their interest here at a young age. And I think softball here in Northeast Ohio is here for years to come.
All you have to do real quick is look at the county breakdown of state championships. It's dominated by Northeast Ohio. Absolutely dominated.
As I want to thank you all for tuning in and watching this broadcast of high school softball on your sports network. To our proud owners, DJ Oakley, Brian Scott, for bringing this game to each and every person unable to make it in attendance tonight. GM Steve Leslie with his work, Bobstein Park Baseball, YSU Football, and YSNLive.com. Many hats that he wears, and we thank him for each and every single one of them. To all of you who tuned in and helped support these kids, schools, and communities, you guys are really what YSN Live is all about, and so we thank you. Ty Bartell, color commentator Anthony Hartwig, our producer DJ Yoakley. We're YSNLive.com, bidding you all a farewell and a good night, everybody.
YSN thanks you for watching this presentation of your sports network. For stories, stats, and more, go to ysnlive.com.